Hi guys, Monday Night Live. Here we are again. Oh, you can see me. Oh, good heaven. Oh, it's a bit sticky up. Is that better? Just move that a bit. Out of the way a bit. There we go. Okay. Presume you can hear me. Brilliant. I've checked I am actually going live, which is a good start. Okay, here we are, Monday. I've got a whole hair thing going on today because I went swimming and then I didn't basically do anything with it. So this is it. And have you noticed you spend your entire life plucking your eyebrows and then you get to 50 and they disappear? What is that about? So I'm actually thinking about getting some kind of permanent or something done so that I don't have to faff about with them in the morning. That and lash extensions. So if anybody has had any of that done, I would really welcome some feedback because I really don't know what to do with that. So there we go. Just Monday drama. Okay, so we're going to talk about holistic treatments for menopause. I did a live a couple of weeks ago where I spoke about as an intro to HRT, but some people still don't want to take HRT, they may not be able to take HRT, but also, as I said, when we go through menopause, we have to look at everything as a whole. So, and HRT isn't a magic pill. There is no one thing that's a magic pill. So we have to look at everything. We need to look at diet, lifestyle, movement, holistic, HRT, gut health. We all know what I'm like, stress reduction, all of those things we need to look at as our management plan, not just for our symptoms and as we're going through it, but also for our life after menopause, post menopause. So I thought this week we would look at holistic treatments, and having that plan in place is really important. So I thought we would have a look at that. And all I would say is that if you take any kind of medication, you should definitely check with pharmacist or your GP, because although the medical world sees essential oils and holistic treatments as less effective than modern medicine, they can actually still interact and have an effect on any medication, what's called contraindications. So you should always check. For instance, people that are on certain heart medications are told not to eat grapefruit. So there, sometimes there are things that in the holistic world, the natural world, that do interfere with medications. So we're going to look at my top 5 essential oils first. First one is clary sage, and it's very relaxing and calming. It also can help manage things like hot flushes, so that's quite a good one. But say it's good for that. It manages hot flushes because it can help balance hormones and estrogen. Very importantly, it can help with mood swings, emotional stress, insomnia, that anxiety that comes up. It's really good to put on pulse points. So if you're feeling a bit anxious, or you can feel hot flush coming on, put that in a roller ball. You can carry that around with you. That's really handy. The next one's peppermint. Now, peppermint is obviously, it's quite a cooling essential oil. So it has a refreshing. So you could put that, again, you could use that on your pulse points. You could use that as well. It's in your hands, put that in and breathe that in. So it can help with, it's also really good to help with things like fatigue. I quite often, I don't actually have it on at the moment, but I quite often have my diffuser on with peppermint in it because it helps with concentration. And also, like I say, if you're a little bit fatigued, it can help with that as well. And it's also really good for headaches. Putting some on your temples is really good. Breathing it in, really good. Indigestion, as I said, our digestive system changes. It becomes a bit sluggish, so you might be a bit more prone to things like heartburn and indigestion. It's also quite good for things like muscle aches and pains. Dependent on which brand you use, this is very, very dependent, because most, if you go into like Holland and Barrett, or most places that you buy essential oils from, will say that they are for external use only. But there is brands, or a brand, that you can actually ingest. So if you want to know more about that, just put supplement in the comments, or message me, and I can let you know, because I do actually, I walk the walk, talk the talk. I actually do use essential oils. So the next one is lavender. Now, obviously, I mean, if you're going to have anything in your in your holistic first aid kit, then lavender is it, because it's good for things like bites and stings. We know that, but also with regards to menopause, it's really good because it aids sleep. So you could have a nice hot bath with lavender in it. Make a pillow spray. Actually, you could combine things like lavender and the clary sage in with that as well, with maybe something like some chamomile, Roman chamomile, and you could actually make your own pillow spray, which would help you with sleep. It's also really good, obviously, if you're suffering from anxiety, because it's calming. It's actually also really good for skincare. It's one of the few essential oils that you can actually use without a carrier oil. That and tea tree, I think, is the other one that you can use without a carrier oil. So you can literally, so if you have a bite or anything like that, you can actually use those straight away. But it's also really good for wrinkles and skin problems. I have always had bad skin, and lavender is actually really good for helping with breakouts. There you go. So that's really good. So again, if you think that bad skin is behind you, trust me, as somebody who suffered from bad skin for like basically since I hit puberty, it doesn't go away. And then you have the added thing of, so not only have you got breakouts, but also you've got aging skin, and there is literally no skincare product that covers both, because most people think that when your skin ages, it just goes dry, but that's not necessarily the case. I have oily skin. I still have oily skin. Yes, probably should have dabbed a bit of powder on my forehead since it's shining there. So lavender is very good for that. Like I say, it's good for calming mood swings, insomnia, inflammation as well. So you can use it for that. So if you've got a bit of joint pain, you can use it for that as well. Like I say, you don't need to use that with a carrier oil. Another one that's good for balancing hormones and managing your anxiety is geranium. So that's also really good for skin as well, actually, geranium. It also can help with if you're suffering, because quite often we have changes in our breasts, so we might have sore, tender breasts. So geranium is actually really good for that. And it's also good for your libido, which again is something else that can end up dropping, basically dropping off the face of the earth when you go through menopause. So geranium is really good for that. Basil is also a good one for helping to balance your hormones, and it's good. It's actually really good if you suffer from nerves. So basil's really good for that. So, and again, if you're using a good brand, you can actually consume it, and you can use it in things like cooking. So, that's a good tip. It's also really good for another one that's really good for the digestive system, because it actually helps the food move through your digestive system. So that's really good. It's good for mental fatigue, for fatigue in general, and also for migraines. So you could use that maybe in combination with peppermint. And there are different ways to use essential oils. You can inhale them. So literally just put a drop or two on your hand, rub your hands together and cup them over your nose and inhale them. Some, 3 or 4 nice deep breaths can help that. You want to do that with a really good peppermint. you will not, if you suffer from things like sinusitis and things like that, where your sinuses get blocked up, a really good peppermint is the way to go with that one. You could use them in a diffuser. Like I say, I use, I quite often will have my diffuser on. So you can use them in that. You can also, again, use them topically, normally with a carrier oil. So you could use those if you're using things like lavender, if you want to do that or clary sage to help you stay calm. You might want to have a massage with that. And again, you can use that, some of those in a bath or in the shower. Put a few drops in the shower so that the steam makes them go. You can make your own roller balls. So you just need a carrier oil. You can buy them off Amazon. They're really, really quite cheap, and that way you can make your own blends and take them with you wherever you go. So that's essential oils. I'm going to talk a little bit about things that are a bit more on the herbal side, but first I'm actually going to talk about CBD. I actually did a CBD talk a couple of weeks ago, but I'm just going to go over that because there might be people here who are not, haven't seen this before. So CBD in relation to menopause symptoms is really good for anxiety and also sleep problems. It's good for achy joints, which was specifically the reason that I came across CBD. But it can also be good for hormone balance, mood, like I say, mood swings, memory issues, because of the way CBD works with your own endocannabinoid system. And the thing there is in the name, endocannabinoid. We have our own system. It kind of works. So you might take it for one thing, but it will kind of seek out other things that you probably don't even realize that you are suffering with, and it will help those things as well. So it's really good for menopause. Again, if you want to know the brand, I don't use a brand as such. I actually have somebody who is local to me that makes it, but he has actually won awards for his product. It's really good. It's all certified. So if you want to know anything, I say message me or put supplements in and I can. How often do you take CBD? I actually use it twice a day. You take it under your tongue, depending on the strength that you're using, 1 or 2 drops. You leave it under your tongue for 30 seconds to a minute, and then you swallow the rest of it. It can be a bit nasty tasting, especially if like I say, the brand that I use, it can be quite bitter, but the taste goes within. And I have heard some people that have bought CBD from places like Holland and Barrett, and they've said that they've had the taste for like literally the rest of the day, but you don't get that with this one, because I've had people actually switch to this and say it's actually fine once you sort of had a minute or so, that taste goes. But it can actually literally, you feel it burning your throat. It could be if you're on the 20%, which is the one that I take. So like I say, if you want to know anything, just put supplements or message me. So I would recommend CBD if you are looking for natural ways to help with your menopause symptoms. So other things that we can take are things like black cohosh. It's actually a Native American herb, and it's if you're suffering from hot flushes or night sweats, that's really what you would be looking to use black cohosh for. If you have anything like liver disease or things like that, then you might need to, like I say, with anything like this, if you've got any existing medical conditions, you should always check with the pharmacist or your GP. Another one is red clover, and this can help. There are compounds in it that can actually help with the fluctuating estrogen levels, so it's quite good to use for balancing your hormones, but it can also help with things like hot flushes and night sweats, which obviously that's probably the thing that most women suffer with. 3 out of 4 women will have hot flushes and or night sweats. So, it's really good for that. Another one that actually you can take, which I suppose is a supplement, but is maybe more of a food supplement. Flax seeds. We spoke about flax seeds. I think I spoke about the importance of estrogen, because flaxseed is a phytoestrogen, so it mimics our estrogen level, so it's really good for helping to balance your hormones, but also it has the added benefit of being high in fiber. And we all know how much I love gut health because it really is, the foundation, I think, of making sure that everything is working properly, not necessarily just in menopause, but specifically in menopause. Absolutely make sure that you are you've got good gut health, and flax seeds have got good amount of fiber in them. So as I say, if you are on medication, always check with a pharmacist, probably with a pharmacist, to be perfectly honest. They're likely to be more clued up, or your GP. If you're looking to take something supplemental, be careful what you're buying, because the essential oil and the supplement industry is very it's basically unregulated. It's like the Wild West. So be very careful what you're buying. And like I say, with essential oils, you won't be able, they will only be topical unless you use a good brand. So let me know if you need to know what I use, and I can get you some information on that. So I'm actually away from Wednesday. First time in 2.5 years actually going away on holiday. But I will still be here on Monday. And say, if you've got any comments, I will be monitoring. So I will be about. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And look out for my pictures of me in the sun on a beach, or just eating food that I haven't had to cook myself, which is really the main thing for me. So I'll see you then. Have a good week.